go. Okay. I don't have to worry about this shit. We are good. Holy shit. Does the auto work? We are good. Okay, it works. It works. It just works. Okay. Jesus Christ. I need to do properties. No, not properties. Filters. I have a compressor on. I have this all the way up. Whatever. I think I'll be fine. Okay. Oh. I had too much shit on my desk. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. What do I need to do? Pop chat. Your channel. Videos. I gotta clean some shit up, man. I gotta clean some shit up. Delete that shit. Delete it. Delete that shit. Okay. We're back. Soy. There's that. There's this. Don't say anything. Stop. Okay. Then we have pop out chat. Cool. Just figuring everything out. There we go. There. Oh, we go. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa. Careful. Okay. Feels good to be back. Now, we just gotta look at a classic for now, I think. Just gotta look at a classic. All this shit fucking sucks. It's just gonna be WoW shit. Fuck you. Shower experience after being back in Norway. Wait, is this a canoe clip? Oh! Okay, we'll watch this.
Norway has among the lowest microplastic in the world, the cleanest tap water in the world. When I took a shower today, I haven't felt this clean in months.
Same. I felt so like clean and refreshed. Even though I have like a water filter.
Okay, this is European propaganda. Never mind. Bad clip. Bad. Oh, this was funny. This was really funny.
And it was the first year that it was almost profitable, but they pulled out last second.
Last second is disgusting.
So sad.
That's
so sad.
Unprofessional.
I was so sad.
Please
They
tell
pulled
me
out
who it
literally the
was
week
so I can
before.
never work with them again.
You'll still want to, but we can bleep it.
Yeah.
Because he was nominated. Anyway.
Cut all of that.
This is like pretty much entirely because like everybody knows it was a song. It was a song because the song got nominated. Like it was. It just was.
Can I fuck me? Can I just say how irritating it is that why did they even leave this in the podcast about how blatantly performative that was? Like, I don't ever want to work with that sponsor again. Wait, hold on. This would actually be something that would actually be a sacrifice. And then like, oh, okay, never mind.
That too, that's really funny. The LARPers. Just being like, I'd never want to work with them again if they pulled that last second. Wait, this is actually like a big company. That'd give you like a shit ton of money. Hold on. Wait a second. But I mean, it was just because Hassan was in the awards. So, when will they learn, man? When will they learn? I'm surprised no one's really like cut contact with him because like everyone's so like power hungry and not so much like power hungry as like clout hungry. They just want the connection of Hassan with like how many viewers he gets and how big he is on the platform. Because I mean, like he is big on the platform. I mean, yeah, 35,000 views. What is he talking about today?
Disgusting. And to make light of it, come on, Saturday Night Live, you're better than that.
Yeah, and David, we've seen
Fox News.
over at least 5 years, perhaps 10, but certainly targeting Trump.
He's just watching Fox News without any guy. He's muted and he's talking to somebody.
Where if you have sole possession of the truth, as the left believes, then people who disagree with you must be evil, and murder becomes one of the tools in the box.
It becomes.
Is he turning into Cenk, where he's just like, yeah, the right people are actually like based now because they're taking out the donor class, whatever the fuck that means? Like, what is this? What are we doing here? Okay, wait, turn the volume down. Okay, pause. Wait.
Of CEOs must stop. Very, very
Turn
scary.
the volume down because I turned the volume down. That was him though. Come on.
Yeah, the chatter. Sorry, I was trying to talk to my brother. That's why it sounded like I had a fucking stroke in the middle of me.
Okay. Freshly addicted WoW players becoming aware of his newly found life priorities. Wow. Ice Poseidon. Guy who scammed his fan base with a crypto rug pull.
Lawless, there is a path where it can be, you can ban people who are doing fucked up shit and not, going down the Twitch route at the same time. It's not hard to compete with Twitch's TOS because their TOS is fucking terrible. So, it's like an advantage.
Actually true. Actually based. So far. Even though he's like a fucking disgusting person, actually pretty based so far. Because it is pretty much just like, you can ban the people who are doing like crazy shit. You can rein in force them to rein in the communities, especially someone like, what the fuck is this shit? Anyway, if someone as big as like Aiden Ross is for the platform of Kick, like his community is fucking terrible and toxic, and he's like not a good person. Like you could really you could tie everything up. Tidy everything up, not necessarily tie everything up, but Kick could be a good platform if they were just willing to ban the insane shit that people are doing on the platform, because there's just so much that they're willing to let slide for some reason, especially with all the weird fucking To Catch a Predator knockoffs who are just beating people up live on stream, or people like Johnny Somali who are big. It's you could just ban these people and the platform would actually be better. It would just be better off. But
Any people who do the illegal shit or super harassing shit, I mean, that is, a no-brainer. So it's
harassing stuff is pretty bad.
It's a very easy path to find, but it's also risky because people are gonna continue to attack Kick, more and more as you go down this path, but you have to fight through it, right? It's,
I don't know if anyone's really gonna be attacking Kick on good grounds at that point, right? I mean, it's the only reason that people are able to attack Kick now is just because of the actual fucked up shit that's on the platform. But if they were okay, we're actually gonna start cleaning up this fucked up shit, is someone like Hassan gonna be oh, Kick finally banned like the worst guy ever. Look at them. Like, oh, like it only took him so long enough. It's like, okay, we'll still ban him off the platform. We're still cleaning up the platform. That doesn't really have much ground anymore to stand on. So I'd like, there's probably a really good way. Kick could just become the biggest. Because I mean, they're really good with their contracts. I'm pretty sure they're really good and favorable to their workers for the contracts. Well, then again, I don't know the specifics, so maybe I'm just completely wrong. But I mean,
it's
like,
the risky path, but I think it's the only path, to be honest, for Kick. I think if you go too hard on the moderation, it's just too similar to Twitch.
You don't have to go that heavy on the moderation, though. There's already not a whole lot of moderation on Kick. So I just don't know, man. XCC gives feedback on his sister's. I didn't even know he had a sister.
Well, can I be honest? The food was really good, right? Except the chicken. It was just like it's just like one of those things like chicken in the oven like that is actually hard to make.
Yeah, I cooked it too soon.
Yeah.
Before the potatoes, you know?
Yeah. But it was good.
This clip. Why are we clipping these things? What is this? Why did I watch it? Why did I click on it? Simply subs on a banana peel. What the fuck is this? Jesus. Jesus. What the fuck is this shit? Noida is a messed up game. Noida is an evil game.
Nope. Alright, let me hear it one more time.
Floxy nasi nihili pilification.
Floxy nasi nihilification. No, no! Change! I'm bald! I am bald! I am bald! I am bald! For the love of God! Stop! What are you doing? Stop! Okay. Nope. Bald! I am bald!
Oh my god. What the fuck is this? What is this mod? What is it trying to do? Jesus Christ. Holy booba. Just no good clips ever. Cause XCC is this is old. Oh, this is really fucking old. Jesus. Okay. There's nothing on here. There's nothing on here. Let's go to this separate. This is where their content is. Found by crucial ethics investigators that paid numerous women, including a 17-year-old girl for sex, and who have purchased and used illegal drugs, including from his Capitol Hill office. Damn! I can't wait to read it. Oh shit, I'm gonna fuck you. This is funny. Why did it start 15 seconds?
2,000 units, that's a lot. And they flooded it with Starlink, and it was so good. It saved a lot of lives, so we want to thank him. But no, he's not going to be president, that I can tell you. And I'm safe, you know why? He can't be. He wasn't born in this country.
He's fucking pressed. He is pressed. So the fact that he's at fucking Turning Point USA, Jesus Christ. That was like the best attack that like Dems could have come up with. I don't even know who the fuck came up with it, but calling it like President like Musk and Vice President Trump. That's the dig we need. The dig we need. British wife of Syria's supposed President Bashar al-Assad, Hassan al-Assad, has filed for divorce after expressing dissatisfaction with her life in Moscow. This is a fucking fresh and fit, yeah. That's a good one. I'm excited to read it. That's all I can say. I'm excited to read this ethics report. True? Paste? American conservatives really believe in nothing, huh? Politics. American conservatives really believe in nothing, huh? Before the election. Keep the peace. We don't want war hawks like Harris. Trump is anti-war. Abandon Ukraine. Abandon Taiwan. After Trump won, it has threatened three-quarters of countries with invasion. Base. Let's invade those countries. Dear leader is making the U.S. great again. It's all shit. I don't even know why he's trying to, like, he tried to run on issues of fixing the economy, and then he was like, actually, I can't fix the economy. Everyone brushed that over and was like, fucking the based issues that are really affecting America. Trans people. The Panama Canal. Greenland. Canada. What? What the fuck? Elon Musk got Taiwan. Like Hawaii is like a part of China, which is arbitrarily not part of China. How did the U.S. get Hawaii? Annexation of Hawaii. America's annexation of Hawaii in 1898 extended U.S. territory in the Pacific and highlighted Oh, wait, what the fuck did? Highlighted resulted from economic integration and the rise of the United States as a Pacific power.
Bah.
For most of the 1800s, leaders in Washington were concerned how Hawaii might become a part of the European nation empire. During the 1830s, Britain and France forced Hawaii to accept treaties giving them economic privileges. 1842, Secretary of State Daniel Webster, in a letter to Hawaii agents in Washington, affirmed U.S. interest in Hawaii and opposed annexation by any other nation. He also proposed Great Britain and France that no nation should seek special privileges or engage in further colonization of the islands. In 1849, the U.S. and Hawaii concluded the Treaty of Friendship that served as the basis for the official relations between the parties. Key provision of America for American whaling ships. Fertile ground for American Protestant missionaries and a new source for sugarcane production, Hawaii's economy became increasingly integrated with the United States. Okay, so it just seems like we made some actual agreements with the country. Like, we negotiated with the country, and we were like, okay, we have a treaty of friendship. We did treaties with them. It's like, oh, okay, Britain and France were encouraging them to sign treaties, but then we were like, hey, fuck off. We signed treaties with them. And then for them to become a territory, I think we just kind of voted on it. And I think they also have to. How does getting a new territory for the U.S. work? Territory drafts a constitution for the proposed state. A referendum is held on the proposed state constitution. Congress acts as a statehood petition or reviews the proposed state constitution. Congress votes to approve statehood or stalls it until a later Congress. Passes a simple majority vote. Joint resolution accepting territories of the state. But I think it has to come to the state, right? How does a become a U.S. territory? Close the war or claim them as discoveries. Did the U.S. How does annexation work? Bring property into the city limits. Annex territory to provide urbanized areas. How was Hawaii annexed? Officially annexed by the United States. Joint House Resolution. New Lands Resolution passed by Congress. William McKinley. The first governor of the territory of Hawaii. Spread of nationalism around the Spanish American War. The U.S. urging President William McKinley. Hawaii's made territory. Does a country get a say in annexation? Our national law, annexation is where one country forcibly asserts control over sovereignty over another country's territory. This usually follows military occupation. Annexation is unilateral territory control declared by the occupying power. The other party gets no say. That's if it was forcibly asserted. Whereby a state proclaims its sovereignty over territory hitherto outside its domain, unlike cession whereby territory is given or sold through treaty. Annexation is unilateral act and effective by actual possession and legitimized by general recognition. Did Hawaii have a say in annexation? Hawaii delegation brought the petition to Washington, D.C. The delegates of what the fuck? No, senators, their petition was read in the Senate and formally accepted. Okay, so it was a petition from Hawaiian delegation that came to forcing some of the willing to vote for annexation, and the treaty was defeated. So it seems like Hawaii was in favor of it. Taiwan definitely isn't in favor of it. That's the whole like thing. I don't want to watch this here. Can I watch this on YouTube? Oh my god. Okay. Okay. We got it. We figured it out.
I understand China well. I've been there many times. I've met with...
He understands China well because his entire business is tied to like China and the Chinese economy. Fucking badass, dude. Fucking badass.
The senior leadership at many levels of China for many years.
Okay, this guy's the richest man in the world. And you can't get a better fucking mic up in this bitch? What the fuck?
And so I think I've got a pretty good understanding, at least as an outsider of China. So, and Tesla has been very successful domestically in China. So it's really Taiwan. You know, the fundamental thing China has is really Taiwan. As an outsider of China. So, and Tesla has been very successful domestically in China. So, you know, the fundamental thing here is really Taiwan. China has, well, really since
I'll let him finish, but I gotta say
for like half a century or so, maybe longer at this point, much longer at this point. Their policy has been to sort of reunite Taiwan with China. From this standpoint, you know, maybe it's analogous to like Hawaii or something like that, like an integral part of China that is arbitrarily not part of China.
An integral part of China, like, I mean, it's an integral part of the U.S. too, so does that mean the U.S. should just go in and try to take it? I mean, probably fucking not. It doesn't make sense. Like, it's its own country. I, like, the thing that with Hawaii, that's just like, oh, it's just like magically not a part of the U.S. is like delegates from Hawaii came in support of that, but like Taiwan does not support China. I don't know why he's digging his nose and all the shit he doesn't fucking know anything about, but
mostly because of the U.S. The U.S. Pacific Fleet has stopped any sort of.
What the fuck? Is it just all Africans that don't change their battery on their smoke detector? Jesus. Screw the woke. True. True, man, based. Wait, no support to bring conservative message to blue states, but if 25,000 New England Republicans moved to New Hampshire. This isn't Senate or House elections. This is general election. You can't, what? This could be completely different in those, like the elections for those races could be completely different in New Hampshire. Like it would be it would flip for Trump to get 4 electoral votes, but it wouldn't be House and Senate seats. Unless it was closer, or it could be further away in those elections, but it doesn't even fucking make any sense. It makes no sense.
Didn't Tucker get fired for having an opinion that went outside of the narrative of Fox News?
But trading order against the House subcommittee to block the release of the full report this morning. Also, why does the signature look like a 5-year-old attempts at drawing a hand giving a middle finger?
I have.
This is a weird little thing. Okay. You'll probably start reading it shortly. Don't want to open Spotify. I don't know. Probably not. We could probably read this. Where the full report was released. Where's the report? You fucking fat fuck. There it is. There it is. There it is. Oh. Okay. 118th Congress, second session, House of Representatives, Report 118. Into the matter of allegations relating to Representative Matt Gaetz. Report of the Committee on Ethics. Adopted by the Committee on Ethics on December 10th, 2024, 118th Congress, second session, U.S. House of Representatives, Committee on Ethics. In the matter of allegations relating to Representative Matt Gaetz, December 23rd, 2024, Mr. Guest from the Committee on Ethics submitted the following report with dissenting views. Committee on Ethics, all these people are board staff, cool. 180 letter of transmittal. The Honorable Kevin McCumber, Acting Clerk, House of Representatives, House 154, the Capital, Washington, blah, blah, blah. Dear Mr. McCumber, pursuant to Clause 3A, 3 sub A, 2, I don't know how the fuck to read this. 3B of Rule, this is 11, right? Rule 11 of the Rules House of Representatives, I herewith transmit the attached report with dissenting views in the matter of allegations relating to Representative Matt Gaetz. Sincerely, Michael Guest. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't want to call him Dickel Guest, but Dickel Guest. Chairman, contents, introduction, blah, 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 blah. Okay, my camera blocking anything? Nope. Underneath Congress second session, Mr. Guest from the Committee of Ethics submitted the following report with dissenting views. In accordance with House Rules 11, Clause 3A, 2, and 3B, the Committee on Ethics hereby submits the following report to the House of Representatives, including view of the Chairman Guest on behalf of the dissenting committee members. Introduction. On April 9, 2001, the committee announced it was investigating a series of widely reported allegations relating to Representative Matt Gaetz. At the request of the Department of Justice, the committee deferred its review during the 117th Congress. After it was organized for the 118th Congress, the committee reauthorized its investigations into the allegations involving Representative Gaetz. Specifically, the committee undertook a review of allegations that Representative Gaetz may have engaged in sexual misconduct and or illicit drug use, shared inappropriate images or videos on the House floor, misused state identification records, converted campaign funds to personal use, and or accepted a bribe, improper gratuity, or impermissible gift. In June 2024, following extensive fact-finding, the committee determined to continue its review of the allegations of sexual misconduct, illicit drug use, the acceptance of impermissible gifts, and expanded its review to include allegations that Representative Gaetz may have dispensed special privileges and favors to individuals with whom he had a personal relationship and obstructed government investigations into his conduct. At that time, the committee determined to take no further action on the allegations relating to the House floor state identification records, personal use of campaign funds, and the acceptance of bribe or gratuity. On November 14, 2024, Representative Gaetz resigned from the House after the president-elect announced his intention to nominate Representative Gaetz for the position of the United States Attorney General. As a result of Representative Gaetz' resignation, the committee lost jurisdiction to continue its investigation. Oh, I didn't know that. Because he resigned from Congress, right? I think so. Representative Gaetz subsequently withdrew from consideration from the position of Attorney General. At this time, he has not announced any intent to seek higher office or return to Congress. That is true. He's starting his own podcast. The committee has typically not released its finding after losing jurisdiction on matter. However, there are a few prior instances where the committee has determined that it was in the public interest to release its findings even after a member's resignation from Congress. The committee does not do so lightly. In this instance, although several committee members object, a majority of the members of the committee agreed that the committee's findings should be released to the public. In sum, the committee found substantial evidence of the following. From at least 2017 to 2020, Representative Gaetz regularly paid women for engaging in sexual activity with him. Jesus Christ. 2017, Representative Gaetz engaged in sexual activity with a 17-year-old girl. Jesus. Jesus. During the period 2017 to 2019, Representative Gaetz used or proposed illegal drugs, or possessed illegal drugs, including cocaine and ecstasy, on multiple occasions. Representative Gaetz accepted gifts, including transportation and lodging, in connection with 2018 trip to the Bahamas in excess of permissible amounts. 2018, Representative Gaetz arranged for his chief of staff to assist a woman with whom he engaged in sexual activity in obtaining a passport, falsely indicating that the U.S. Department of State that she was a constituent. Why is this fucked up? Why are they fucking the font, man? Representative Gaetz knowingly and willingly sought to impede and obstruct the committee's investigation of his conduct. Representative Gaetz has acted in a manner that reflects discreditably upon the House. That's pretty true. Based on the above, the committee concluded that there was substantial evidence that Representative Gaetz violated House rules, state and federal laws, and other standards of conduct in prohibiting prostitution, statutory rape, illicit drug use, accepting of impermissible gifts, and provision of special favors and privileges, and obstruction of Congress. The committee did not find sufficient evidence to conclude that Representative Gaetz violated the federal sex trafficking statute. Although Representative Gaetz did cause the transportation of women across state lines for purposes of commercial sex, the committee did not find evidence that any of those women were under 18 at the time of travel, nor did the committee find sufficient evidence to conclude that commercial sex acts were induced by forced fraud or coercion. Okay. How many pages is this? Jesus. Probably stops somewhere, right? Or just like background shit, maybe. Hopefully, I haven't read one of these, so. Representative Gaetz was uncooperative through the committee's review. He provided minimal documentation in response to the committee's request. He also did not agree to a voluntary interview on July 11, 2024. Okay, he did not agree to a voluntary interview. Usually, when there's like some committee investigation about like ethics and stuff, where it's like, oh shit, we want to question you for this stuff, and then they get like their soy moments or whatever. Hillary Clinton Benghazi hearing. Full. She was there for like actually fucking like 10 hours. And she like answered questions, and like people will flip shit about this. People will flip shit about like, holy shit, she's the worst fucking person ever, and she committed so many war crimes that she needs to be fucking jailed. It's like most of this is just her like answering questions. How long was Hillary Clinton questioned for Benghazi? 11 hours. Yeah, no, okay, so it is just the full 11 hours of her fucking answering questions.
These four went out and actually tried to make it better, and it cost them their lives. So we know what they gave us. What do we owe them? Justice for those who killed them. We owe their families our everlasting gratitude, respect. We owe them and each other. In some instances, on the very same day he was asking for security. So I think it is eminently fair to ask why Sidney Blumenthal had unfettered access to you, Madam Secretary, with whatever he wanted to talk about, and there's not a single solitary email to or from you, to or from Ambassador Stevens. I think that is fair, and we'll take that up.
Gentleman yield.
Sure.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, you've made several inaccurate statements over the past month as you have tried to defend against multiple Republican admissions that the Select Committee has been wasting millions of tax dollars to damage Secretary Clinton's bid for president. On Sunday, you made another inaccurate statement during your appearance on Face the Nation, and it's being taken up here, and this is relevance. Here's what you said, and
9 years ago, I gotta do some fucking math real quick. Fuck. So 2020, it was 5 years ago. 2020, so that's 4 years. So this is like 2016. So yeah, this is in 2015. She answered this in front of. What the fuck? This was so close to the election. What the fuck? This is way closer than I thought. Redistribution. What the fuck? Entire hearing is use of legitimate use of the footage as well as YouTube as well as blah blah blah.
I quote, there are other folks who may have equities in her emails, and there may be other entities.
Also, I'm pretty sure all these like committee hearings and stuff, it is voluntary. It's like, oh, it's like a voluntary interview, or like, if you're like summoned before Congress, can you not show up if you are summoned to be questioned before Congress? You said it for contempt of Congress? People don't care about that anymore, though, so people don't care about subpoenas. Who gives a fuck about that? So there's some Republican congressman that didn't show up for the subpoena of January 6th. Regarding I think either indictments or just crimes that happened on that day, or like events that happened on that day. And like they didn't get to voted out or like kicked out, or nothing happened. So.
These who are evaluating her emails. But my interest in them is solely making sure that I get everything I'm entitled to so that I can do my job. The rest of it, classification, Clinton Foundation, you name it, I have zero interest in it, which is why you haven't seen me send a subpoena related to it or interview a single person other than Brian Pagliano, because I need to know that the record is complete. I'm going back to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I'm waiting on you. I'm waiting on you. I'm waiting on the accurate statement.
I'm getting there. Mr. Chairman,
well,
your statement was...
The committee's fighting with themselves, Jesus Christ.
It's not going to take long. You took up 4 minutes over, so let me have...
I've let everybody go over, including you, Mr.
Thank you very much. You issued a subpoena to Sidney Blumenthal on May 19th, 2015, compelling him to appear for a deposition on June 16, 2015. You issued the subpoena unilaterally, without giving the select committee members the opportunity to debate or vote on it. You sent 2 armed marshals to serve the subpoena on Mrs. Blumenthal's wife at their home without having ever sent him a request to participate voluntarily, which he would have done. Then, Mr. Chairman, you personally...
I was gonna say, I guess there's like requests you could be like, okay, you could voluntarily, like come to these things, and then like if not, then they would probably do a subpoena, I'd imagine. What I mean is like, showing up for fucking 11 hours? God damn, how brave. How fucking brave. But I'm assuming you just didn't show up for any of that shit, any of the questioning. On July 11, 2024, the committee issued a subpoena to Representative Gaetz for his testimony. Okay, yeah, there it is. He did not appear, despite having received notice that, of the date and time of the deposition. So, yeah, but he didn't fucking show up. The committee then sent Representative Gaetz a set of written questions, to which he issued a public response that ignored most of the direct questions about his misconduct and mischaracterized the committee's investigation and its participation up to that point. Despite Representative Gaetz' claims to the contrary, the committee's singular mission is to protect the integrity of the House. When faced with serious public allegations against a member, the committee will often investigate, and when such allegations are false, the committee has a shared goal with the respondent to disprove those allegations. Just gonna... Let's make a mean-ass tweet. Fat Gaetz. True. By the way, if there's anyone here, go look at my, go follow my, what the fuck? Impressions. What does that mean, impressions? Nobody likes my tweets, so people gotta go there and like my tweets, so. Now let's just say I got some banger tweets on there, though. Just got some banger tweets. Anyway. Back to it. While the committee considered whether to establish an investigative subcommittee to consider sanctions against Representative Gaetz, the committee ultimately determined that it would not risk the further victimization of the woman involved in this matter. So brave. Most of the women with whom the committee spoke also gave statements to DOJ and urged the committee to rely on those statements in lieu of requiring them to relive their experience. They were particularly concerned with providing additional testimony about a sitting congressman in light of DOJ's lack of action on their prior testimony. DOJ refused to provide the relevant statement, other significant evidence to the committee. DOJ cited the internal policies about protecting uncharged subjects like Representative Gaetz, general concerns about how DOJ's cooperation with the committee may deter other victims in other matters, and various inapposite policies relating to congressional oversight of DOJ itself. DOJ's initial deferral request and subsequent lack of cooperation with the committee's review caused significant delays in the investigation. Those delays were compounded by Representative Gaetz' obstructive efforts. The committee has determined that its findings must be released without further impediments. Accordingly, on December 10, 2024, the committee voted on whether to release this report. Although several members did not support its release, a majority of the members voted in favor of its release. Procedural history. On April 9th, 2021, the committee publicly announced it was investigating allegations relating to the Representative Gaetz, including whether he may have engaged in sexual misconduct and or illicit drug use, shared inappropriate images or videos on the House floor, misused state identification records, converted campaign funds to personal use, and or accepted a bribe, improper gratuity, or impermissible gift. They even got little fucking sources cited. Shortly thereafter, DOJ requested the committee defer all investigations of Representative Gaetz. The committee did so. Because the committee defer all investigations, okay, so the committee listened to the DOJ. DOJ in 2021, who was in the DOJ in 2021? 2022? 2021. Shit. Merrick Garland. Merrick Garland. Is this Trump's guy? Fuck. March 11th. And this is April. So this would be Merrick Garland. As nation's chief law enforcement attorney general, Garland. Oh, God. Oh, Barr. Okay. That's what I thought. Succeeded by Merrick Garland. But was this after he kicked out Barr? Wikipedia. Hey, I already donated. Close. American lawyer. Jesus Circuit Court Judge, District of Columbia, President Brock Garland for the U.S. Supreme Court. Okay, so this guy's chill, as far as I'm concerned. People hate Merrick Garland. So I'm assuming. Why would they do that? Why would they defer the investigation? February 2023, after the committee asked the DOJ for an update on its deferral request, public reports indicated that DOJ had informed Representative Gaetz and multiple witnesses that congressmen would not be charged in connection with the investigation. Shortly thereafter, DOJ informed the committee it was no longer requesting a deferral. The chairman and ranking member reauthorized the matter in May of 2023 in accordance with the committee rule 18A. June 18th, 2024, the committee announced that the scope of the inquiry would focus on allegations of sexual misconduct, illicit drug use, gifts, blah, blah, blah. Special privileges and favors to individuals who had a personal relationship with obstruction of government investigation. At the time, the committee also stated it would not continue an investigation to investigate allegations of sharing inappropriate images or videos on the House floor, misusing state identification records, converting campaign funds to personal use, and accepting a bribe or improper gratuity. Okay, the chairman and ranking member sent 9 requests for information and 6 Freedom of Information Act requests. The committee also authorized 29 subpoenas for documents and testimonies, reviewed nearly 14,000 documents, and contacted more than 24 witnesses. The committee also received sworn written responses from an associate Representative Gaetz, Joel Greenberg. As discussed further below, however, the committee determined that due to credibility issues, it would not rely exclusively on information provided by Mr. Greenberg in making any findings. Joel Greenberg. Politician former tax collector for Seminole County, Florida in 2020. Greenberg is arrested and charged with multiple federal offenses. Indicted on 33 criminal counts: theft, stalking, sex trafficking, cryptocurrency fraud, and small business administration loan fraud. On May 7, 2021, he pled guilty of 6 federal charges, including sex trafficking of a minor, part of a plea deal. And this was the guy who was in it with Matt Gaetz. Huh. Well, that's just fun. Shortly after DOJ withdrew its deferral request and the committee reauthorized its review, the committee sent DOJ request for information. After 3 months without response, despite repeated follow-ups, the committee submitted Freedom of Information Act requests to several relevant DOJ offices, which to date have not been adequately processed. That's strange. The committee continued to reach out to DOJ throughout 2023, having still not received a substantive response to its request for information. January 12, 2024, the committee received its first correspondence from DOJ on the matter. At that time, DOJ provided no substantive response or explanation for its delay. Instead, DOJ simply stated that it does not provide non-public information about law enforcement investigations that do not result in charges. This policy is, however, inconsistent with DOJ's historical conduct with respect to the committee and its unique role in upholding the integrity of the House. And that's so weird, though. Why would the DOJ be doing this? That doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Don't make no damn sense. Where was I? Oh shit. Okay. Thereafter, the committee determined to issue a subpoena to DOJ to obtain records relating to the investigation of Representative Gaetz. Committee determined to issue a subpoena. Okay. DOJ did not comply with the subpoena by the date required, but suggested it remained committed to good faith engagement with the committee. In spirit of cooperation, the committee provided a list of specific responsive documents setting out particularized demands to the subpoena. Among the particularized demands was a request for an exculpatory evidence relating to Representative Gaetz. On March 13, 2024, committee members met with the Assistant Attorney General for the Office of Legislative Affairs and the Principal Deputy Assistant Attorney General for the Criminal Division of DOJ. DOJ officials again cited no legal basis for failing to comply with the subpoena. DOJ subsequently requested additional context for the committee's demands, which the committee provided. After further attempts at meaningful accommodation of DOJ's concerns about the breadth of the committee's request, DOJ ultimately provided publicly reported information about the testimony of a deceased individual. Today, DOJ has provided no meaningful evidence or information to the committee or cited any lawful basis for its responses. The committee hopes to continue to engage with DOJ on the broader issues raised by its failure to recognize the committee's unique mandate. As the committee has told the DOJ, the committee and DOJ should be partners in the shared mission of upholding the integrity of our government's institutions. That is pretty true. I don't even understand why the DOJ would be doing something like this. That's insane. The committee initially made a narrowly tailored request for information. Representative Gaetz seeking information limited to the allegations that would not be within DOJ's jurisdiction, the alleged acceptance of an improper gift, and sharing of nude images and videos on the House floor. The request also invited Representative Gaetz to provide additional information relevant to any of the allegations under review. Representative Gaetz sought numerous extensions and complained about the burden of the request. Representative Gaetz ultimately provided only 3 pages of information in response to the committee's initial request. On May 20, 2024, the committee requested Representative Gaetz inform the committee whether he would agree or participate in the voluntary interview and provided him a list of allegations so that he could make any response or provide any information regarding the allegations. On May 24, 2024, Representative Gaetz provided brief written denials of the allegations and demanded the committee address leaks prior to me providing any oral testimony to the committee. On June 28, 2024, the committee requested that Representative Gaetz provide the committee with all records previously produced to DOJ, as well as dates of availability for the interview by July 8th. At that time, the committee made an explicit request for any exonerating information. The committee also informed Representative Gaetz that it would not permit further delays. Representative Gaetz did not produce the requested documents or dates of availability. On July 10th, he asked for an extension through August recess to produce documents he deemed appropriate. Representative Gaetz did not provide these documents, despite multiple extensions provided by the committee. The committee noted to Representative Gaetz that an interview would be an opportunity to respond to the allegation against you and relevant questions arising out of the review. However, he declined to voluntarily participate, making demands of the committee instead. On July 11th, the committee issued a subpoena for Representative Gaetz' testimony. The subpoena was served electronically to Representative Gaetz and his chief of staff, who had communicated with the committee on behalf of the congressman throughout the investigation. Jesus Christ. Representative Gaetz did not appear to testify pursuant to the committee's subpoena. Representative Gaetz did not provide a legal basis for his failure to appear, but informed the committee that upon information and belief, the House will no longer take action, will not take action to enforce the subpoena. The committee informed Representative Gaetz that following his failure to comply with the subpoena and to provide a fulsome response to previous requests for information, the committee would rely on the record available to it to make its findings in this matter. Representative Gaetz responded by stating that he had prioritized providing evidence that most clearly and directly proved his innocence, and stated that he welcomed written questions from the committee. The committee subsequently sent a set of written questions to Representative Gaetz. Representative Gaetz issued his response publicly, which did not answer most questions, and asserted he would no longer voluntarily participate in the investigation. No longer voluntarily participate in the investigation. He wasn't voluntarily participating in all of this investigation. What is he talking about? What the hell is he talking about? On November 14, 2024, Representative Gaetz submitted his resignation to the House. On December 10, 2024, while several members of the committee objected, a majority of members voted to release the report. 3. Relevant laws, rules, and other applicable standards of conduct. Federal laws. Section 1591 of Title 18, United States Code, prohibits trafficking, including recruiting, enticing, or transporting a minor for commercial sex while knowing or in reckless disregard of the fact that the victim is a minor. Section 1591 also prohibits trafficking adults for commercial sex use, using force, threats, force, fraud, or coercion. The Mann Act, 18 U.S. Code, Section 2421. What the fuck does this mean? And the following. Okay. Etsec. Etsequinus. Okay, cool. Etsequinus prohibits the knowing transportation of individuals through interstate or foreign commerce to engage in prostitution or illegal sexual activity. Section 2423 specifically prohibits the transportation of minors with the intent to engage in commercial sex or illegal sexual activity. However, if a defendant establishes that she or he reasonably believed that the individual with whom she or he engaged in commercial sex was at least 18 years old, the defendant may avoid criminal liability. Section 2421 and 2422 are not limited to transportation of minors, but Criminal Division of DOJ has stated that it does not prosecute these statutes in every case in which they are violated, but only where there is evidence of a victim of severe forms of trafficking in persons. Federal law also prohibits obstruction of Congress, specifically under... Oh, Jesus, what the fuck did I do? Okay. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I was on my phone. Oh, shit. Just let me know what y'all want. We should probably just put some music on,
Just for you. Gonna get things moving with some top music from the past few years. Willow up first.
Can this even be heard? I gotta check something real quick. I don't think it reveals anything, right? No, I'm too scared. I'm too fucking scared. Okay. We just got some nice little light music. What can I say? I can barely hear it. Federal laws prohibits obstruction of Congress, specifically under Section 18 of the U.S. fucking some suck dick code, U.S. State Code, Title 18, U.S. State Code, Section. What does this mean? What the fuck does this? Can I copy and paste this? What does this mean? What is the meaning of this symbol? What the fuck? I've never seen this symbol. Symbol meaning. Title, code, section, symbol. Oh, shit. Section sign. Okay, section. It does mean section. Why can't I do like SEC or something? Section. Whatever. Section 1505. It is a crime either corruptly or through threats to influence, obstruct, or impede the due and proper exercise of the power of inquiry of a House committee or to endeavor to do so. Federal law also prohibits tampering with witnesses in a congressional proceeding. Pursuant to Title 18 U.S. State Code, the United States Code, U.S. State Code, Section 1512B, is a crime to knowingly intimidate, threaten, or corruptly persuade, or attempt to do so, or to engage in misleading conduct toward an individual with the intent to influence, delay, or prevent the testimony of any person in an official proceeding, or to cause someone to withhold or alter evidence. The witness tampering statute also prohibits lesser offensive of intentionally harassing a witness in an attempt to dissuade the witnesses from testifying. False statements to Congress in connection to an investigation are also prohibited pursuant to Title 18 United States Code, Section 1001. Florida state laws. Hoorah. Under Florida's statutory rape law, it is a felony for a person 24 years of age or older to engage in sexual activity with a 16-year-old or 17-year-old. 16 or 17-year-old. A person charged with this offense may not claim ignorance or misrepresented a minor's age as a defense. Oh, damn. Not looking good, buddy. Not looking good. It is also a criminal offense under Florida state law to solicit, induce, entice, or produce another to commit prostitution or to purchase the service of any person engaging in prostitution, or to aid, abet, or participate in such actions. Florida defines prostitution as the giving or receiving of the body for sexual activity for hire, but excludes sexual activity between spouses. In Florida, unauthorized possession of controlled substances is also a criminal offense. Schedule 1 and 2 controlled substances are deemed by Florida law as having a high potential for abuse. Cocaine and MDMA, commonly referred to as ecstasy or Molly, are controlled substances under Florida law. He's just breaking everything. He doesn't even care. He's breaking everything. But so far, we're only about, what is it, like 9 pages or like less of actual content, the actual like stuff where there's like laying out what happened, and it's not looking good. It isn't looking good for Matty boy over here. It's really bad, actually. It's really bad for him so far. House rules and other standards of conduct. Pursuant to Title V United States Code, Section 7553 and House Rule 25, Clause 5, the gift rule, members of Congress are subject to broad limitations on the solicitation and acceptance of gifts. Under the gift rule, members may not knowingly accept any gift except as provided in the rule. As the ethics manual explains, gifts include gratuities, favors, discounts, entertainment, hospitality, loans, forbearances, services, training, travel expenses, in-kind contributions, advance payments, and reimbursements after the fact. The general provision of the gift rule allows members to accept a gift valued less than $50 so long as the source of the gift is not a registered lobbyist, foreign agent, or private entity that retains or employs such individuals. There's so much, man. A gift received through a personal friendship where the fair market value is no more than $250 requires formal approval from the committee. With respect to a trip, the value is viewed as a whole and thus includes transportation, lodging, and meal expenses paid for by the gift giver. That makes sense. Certain considerations must be made in determining whether to accept gifts over $250 relating to a personal friendship, such as 1. History of the personal friendship, including any previous occasions of exchange gifts, whether the gift giver personally paid for the gift or sought a tax deduction or business reimbursement for the gift, and whether the gift giver gave similar gifts to other members, officers, or employees of the house. In addition, members are required to report the receipt of certain gifts from non-relatives where the aggregate value exceeds the minimal value. The minimum value in 2024 is $480, excluding any gifts valued under $192. Weird. 2018, it was $390, excluding gifts valued under $156. There's also an exemption for gifts of personal hospitality for which there's no value limit and no reporting requirement. Personal hospitality exemption, however, is limited. It applies only to stays and meals in someone's personally owned home and does not include air travel to get to that location or stays at a property that is rented out to others. House Rule 23, Clause 15 governs the payment for use of non-commercial aircraft by House members. Members may use personal funds for the use of an aircraft supplied by an individual on the basis of personal friendship. Members may only accept a flight on the non-commercial aircraft without reimbursement under limited circumstances under the gift rule. As a general matter, the personal friendship exception can only apply if the aircraft is owned by the member's personal friend, the use of the aircraft is for personal purposes, and the member receives written approval from the committee where the value is in excess of $250. Section 5341 of Title 2 United States Code establishing the members' representational allowance provides that its purpose is to support the conduct of the official and representational duties of a member with respect to the district from which the member is elected. The ethics manual notes, however, that assistance to non-constituent is not entirely prohibited under the statute, and explains, in some instances, working for non-constituents on matters that are similar to those facing constituents may enable the member to better serve his or her district. Nonetheless, members should not devote official resources to casework for individuals who live outside the district, but instead they refer the person to his or her own representative or senator for assistance. There's a lot of gift shit. Just pretty much saying, okay, like you have to disclose a certain amount of gifts, and it's like it's pretty much just covering it with like certain trips. It would cover everything, including like travel, housing, and meals, and then like, oh, okay, there's certain stuff about like flying if you were to take it not so much as like a business trip but for a personal thing. Like it would have to like be under these things. There's certain rules for like friendship. It's like, okay, like if there were like other gifts before your congressman that are that expensive, okay, probably doesn't look that sus. If they're giving it to other people, it's probably like something kind of sus. Like other people who work in the house, that's just, yeah. A lot of fucking rules, man. Code of Ethics and Government Service sets forth standards of conduct for all government employees. Paragraph 2 of that code provides that those in government service should uphold the Constitution, laws, and legal regulations of the United States and all governments therein, and never be a party to their evasion. Code of Ethics and Government Service sets forth standards for conduct for all government employees. Paragraph 2 of that code provides that those in government service should uphold the Constitution, laws, and legal regulations of the United States and all governments therein, and never be a party to their evasion. Okay, that means you can't evade them. Don't be fucking skipping on these rules and regulations. Paragraph 5 states that they should never discriminate unfairly based by the dispensing of special favors or privileges to anyone, whether for remuneration or not. Remuneration. Remuneration. Money paid for work or a service. Okay. All public servants are, so it's like you just can't treat people differently based on either like personal gifts or like actual like services they've done for you, like me personally. But yeah. All public servants are charged under the code with upholding the principles articulated, ever conscious that public office is a public trust. True. House Rule 23, Clause 1 states, a member of the House shall behave at all times in a manner that shall reflect credibility on the House. House Rule 23, Clause 2 states that members shall adhere to the spirit and the letter of the rules of the House. So I don't know how like committees work, but I'm assuming this is like, okay, here's like all the stuff we try to get for background. We could like come to answer stuff for the committee. We've sent several subpoenas. DOJ wasn't like complying with a lot of these things, and then like we finally got through. Gaetz wasn't complying with these things. He wasn't showing up to testify. All this, and then it's like, okay, here's a bunch of rules, and then we go into the actual factual background where it's just gonna be like, okay, he did these things. Clearly, it's like breaking these rules. So I was like, all this before was just like what happened with the proceedings of the committee. And there's just like relevant stuff where it's just like, okay, yeah, these are all the rules that we provide by, and the factual background is like gonna probably refer to all these things, be like, okay, yeah, like there's a clear violation of these rules. Allegations of sexual misconduct and drug use. On March 30th, 2021, the New York Times reported that Representative Gaetz was under investigation by DOJ for possible violation of sex trafficking laws. The investigation reportedly related to allegations that Representative Gaetz had a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old and paid for her to travel with him. On April 1st, 2021, additional reporting indicated federal investigations included allegations involving cash payments, the use of illegal substances, the recruitment of women online for sex, and the use of campaign funds to pay for travel for women. The DOJ investigation was part of an ongoing inquiry involving a former county tax collector in Florida named Joel Greenberg, who was sentenced to 11 years in prison in 2022. This guy, he only got 11 years? That's kind of fucking crazy. Representative Gaetz' arrangement with Joel Greenberg. Committee's record shows that shortly after he was sworn into Congress in 2017, Representative Gaetz became friends with Mr. Greenberg. I'm back. Back. So Joel Greenberg, his first paragraph in Wikipedia is that he got arrested for is like tax evasion. A little bit less. So he's doing it was a crypto scam. I think there's some tax evasion stuff, and the fact that he sex trafficked minors. That was his first paragraph. He was the Seminole County tax collector up until 2020. Was it 2020 when he got arrested? So, or is it 2022 when he was sentenced? So I think I think it was 2020 or 2021 where like the state press charges. Representative Gaetz' arrangement with Joel Greenberg. Community's records show that shortly after he was sworn into Congress in 2017, Representative Gaetz became a friend with Mr. Greenberg, who had only recently taken office as the Seminole County tax collector. According to Mr. Greenberg, the two met at the house of Christopher Dorworth, a Florida lobbyist. Christopher Dorworth. Former Republican member of the Florida House of Representatives, representing the 34th district, which consisted of a small amount of Orange County and Western Seminole County from 2007 to 2012. In 2012, he ran for re-election in the 29th district. He lost in an upset to Democratic candidate Mike Clellan. Okay. Interesting. Mr. Greenberg and Representative Gaetz frequently attended parties and other gatherings with young women in attendance. Many of those women were initially contacted by Mr. Greenberg via the website seekingarrangement.com, now seeking.com. Mr. Greenberg subsequently introduced the women to Representative Gaetz. Seekingarrangement.com advertised itself as a sugar dating website that primarily connected older men and younger women seeking mutually beneficial relationships. The website was generally understood by many of the women interviewed by the committee to involve, at a minimum, an exchange of companionship for money. That's pretty true. There have been prosecutions against individuals for sex trafficking that originated with contacts made through seekingarrangement.com or similar websites, and some have called for the website to be shut down due to its facilitation of prostitution. Platforms such as seekingarrangement.com are known to make it easier for traffickers to exploit victims and connect with buyers. It's really not looking good. The committee did not receive any evidence that Representative Gaetz has own account on seekingarrangement.com. Mr. Greenberg indicated he frequently showed the site to Representative Gaetz, and they provided his login credentials to Representative Gaetz. Oh, God. According to Mr. Greenberg, he and Representative Gaetz would split the cost of drugs, hotels, and girls. For example, the committee reviewed evidence that such activity occurred in July 2017. Specifically, evidence showed that Representative Gaetz, Mr. Greenberg, and others gathered at a rental property located in the Brickell neighborhood of Miami, Florida for a weekend beginning on July 7, 2017. Representative Gaetz and Mr. Greenberg also spent time in Fort Lauderdale during the Miami stay, during which time Representative Gaetz withdrew at least $1,200 in cash from 3 different accounts at a single ATM. On June 22, 2017, Representative Gaetz paid $6,308 for that rental booking. On July 9, 2017, Mr. Greenberg paid Representative Gaetz $1,600 by check. Mr. Greenberg stated the check was reimbursement for a share of the rental. Mr. Greenberg also noted that they met up with another individual for dinner that weekend, and he shared a photo of Representative Gaetz himself and the other individual on social media on July 18, 2017. The committee received evidence confirming that Representative Gaetz at times personally made payments to women who attended parties with him and Mr. Greenberg using various peer-to-peer electronic payment services as well as checks and cash. The committee's record also indicates that Mr. Greenberg sometimes paid women for having sex with Representative Gaetz and was sometimes reimbursed by Representative Gaetz. Jesus fucking Christ. Witnesses indicated that there were times where a lump sum would be sent to one woman who would then distribute the money evenly among others who attended the parties. Likewise, in one instance, Representative Gaetz sent $400 to Mr. Greenberg with a note, "Hit up Victim A." Oh my God. The Victim A is just like the whatever middleman. I don't know if his staff got involved with this. Mr. Greenberg then sent 2 women payments totaling $400, including victim A. August 19, 2020, Mr. Greenberg indicted. Oh my god. Yeah, okay, it's 2020 he was indicted on. August 19, 2020, Mr. Greenberg was indicted on charges related to his misuse, motor vehicle records, and identification documents, and his role as Seminole County tax collector, and his attempt to falsely accuse a political opponent of being a pedophile. Oh my god. Projection. It's mighty. He's additionally charged with sex trafficking of a child, victim A. Victim A was a child? Wire fraud, bribery of a public official, theft of government property, and related charges. Pleaded guilty to 6 charges, including sex trafficking of victim A in May 2021, but his sentencing was delayed until December 2022 due to his ongoing cooperation in several other matters. As part of his cooperation, he provided information that was ultimately corroborated and ended in successful persecutions. Representative Gaetz' interactions with women he thought he met through Mr. Greenberg. Transactional nature of the interactions. From 2017 to 2020, Representative Gaetz made tens of thousands of dollars in payments to women that the committee determined were likely in connection with sexual activity and or drug use. Payments were made to these women using peer-to-peer payment platforms such as PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App. While Representative Gaetz had accounts in his name for each of those platforms, he also sometimes paid women through another person's PayPal account or through an account held under a pseudonymous. Held under a pseudonymous. What the fuck does this word? Okay, I can't read.
Pseudonymous.
Okay. Pseudonymous email account. Jesus Christ. Representative Gaetz also paid some of the women by check or in cash. The following chart summarizes payments made by Representative Gaetz to Mr. Greenberg and to women via peer-to-peer payment platforms or checks. Okay. Jesus Christ. Woman 1. Former girlfriend. $63,836.58 for the time period of 2017 to 2020. Oh my god. Woman 2, $4,189.82. 3, $2,651.69. $4,000, $5,000, $1,200, $2,000. Joel Greenberg, almost $4,000 from 2017 to 2018. Huh. The committee's records indicate that Representative Gaetz was in a long-term relationship with Woman 1, and therefore some of the payments have been may have been of a legitimate nature. However, as discussed further below, Woman 1 asserted that her Fifth Amendment right, when asked whether the payments to Representative Gaetz were for sexual activity and or drugs, or for her to pass on to others for such purposes. That's probably the main concern. If he was doing that with other people, and that was kind of like the thing he was running, was probably, it's like, okay, you're setting this much to this girl is probably also involved with this, to send money to all the other people involved. That's probably a concern. Based on that, I gotta fucking wipe my glasses off first. Based on that assertion, combined with evidence received from other sources, the committee found substantial reason to believe that most of these payments were for such activity. That's probably true. $6,000 is just a random woman for funsies. To a friend, man. It's to a friend. It's just to a friend, dude. I'm pretty sure that's what he's saying on Twitter. Matt Gaetz. Twitter. Florida man. Because being at some party 5 years ago, at some party, some random party. Even though there were, from this report, there were parties that he went to that minors were on the premises? I don't know, whatever. Accused of being at some party. Alright, I just blown it off. Here is the gate log for that home in a community that checks deals for entrance. I'm not on the log. The other attendees are. But people who said they were on drugs say they remember me there. Do they also remember seeing Jimmy Hoffa there and Tupac? Mays, Mike Fisher. So a fucking shitty one. Shitty screenshot of something. I don't even know what the fuck this is from. But I mean, it might not just be, yeah, like for entrance. Papa Joe's Pizza, I guess. Mike Fisher, Royal Maid. I don't know. This just seems fucking strange. Whatever this is seems strange. We'll have to look at this after. Giving funds to someone you are dating that they didn't ask for isn't charged for sex. It isn't charged for sex. It's now prostitution. But it's just like, oh, it was just given to them. But it's like, for what purpose? Why was it given to them? I don't know. The reason they did this to me at Christmas Eve report, and not in a courtroom of any kind where I could present evidence and challenge witnesses. What? You were able to. You were able to present. You could present evidence and like you could give the ethics committee. You could have gone in for questioning and comply with the subpoenas to give them evidence. And if it was proper evidence, they probably just wouldn't have found anything. They would have at least reported and been like, okay, there's nothing here. You have to be like, this is so. He knows what he did. I feel like it makes him feel more guilty. I'm just calling him guilty. That's all I'm doing. Testimony from one of the alleged prostitutes that you won't see in the report. This is testimony from one of the alleged prostitutes. They put in quotation that you won't see in the report. So wasn't the amounts charged did not depend on how attractive the guy was? Is that fair to say? Wolf object to the form. Lady, I answer. I never charged anyone anything. Like I said, it was just given. Okay, and it wasn't spoke about. So this is just like some random clip of some like testimony. But it's like, you're allowed to defend yourself. You could have gone into questioning. They can be challenged! They can be challenged! Are you... You could have gone in for questioning in front of the ethics committee to answer their questions and provided them with any evidence to the contrary, but you never did. Why do you keep digging yourself a deeper grave? Jesus. Like, he could have gone up and like and testified in front of them, but he didn't. Of course, he's just gonna reposting everyone's like soy defending him. These people should lose their careers, by the way. Everyone who's sitting here defending this guy should probably lose their careers. Like, he's insane. The committee was not able to speak with everyone, except for Representative Gaetz, was suspect of being part of illicit activity. Several women initially were responsive to the committee's outreach, but later told the committee they would not voluntarily participate. Other women were clear at first contact that they feared retaliation or were unwilling to voluntarily relieve their interactions with Representative Gaetz. Due to the woman's reluctance to cooperate, as well as the delay caused by DOJ's deferral request and subsequent refusal to provide meaningful cooperation, committee was unable to determine the full extent of which Representative Gates' payments to women were compensation for engaging in sexual activity with him. However, the record before the committee provides substantial reason to believe that many of the payments in the chart above were made in connection with sexual activity and/or illicit drug use. They're saying all this based on evidence that wasn't provided by a lot of these things because they said they would. They were saying it's like, okay, well, like, hey, Matt Gaetz, if you want to send us evidence or come in for questioning or tell us what exactly happened or do an interview or any of these things, we'll use that with all of our other evidence in this investigation. But if you don't do this, then we're going to use what we have available to us, especially with the way that the DOJ has been acting. Like, we're just going to, like, go off base what we have. He didn't want to, I guess, because he fucking probably would have shot his pants in front of everyone because he couldn't figure out a slimy answer to get out of all of it. Likely because he probably just did it, you know, especially with Joel Greenberg being as fucking, like, insane as he was. Yeah, that whole fucking thing going on, you being so closely tied to him. It's like you had your opportunity, but you didn't take it, and now you're sitting here soy posting on the internet about how this is like some fucking career assassination attempt, even though you did it. Like you did these things. You declined to go and interview in front of the committee, and speak in front of the committee or like respond to any subpoenas that they issued. And now you're sitting here soy posting about how you want to make your case, but you could have made your case. But you chose not to. So. The committee was also not able to quantify the amount of cash payments Representative Gates made to women, or the amount of payments that other individuals, such as Mr. Greenberg, made on behalf of Representative Gates. That's true. They probably don't have the full scope of this, so it's like they have these things that it's probably it could be more. Not that they're saying it's more, but it could be because they aren't able to get the full amount. Representative Gates refused to answer questions about his relationships with the women involved. There was, however, evidence that he understood and shared many of the women's transactional views of their arrangements. In one text exchange viewed by the committee, Representative Gates balked at a woman's response that he sent her money after he accused her of ditching him on a night when she was feeling tired, claiming she only gave him a drive-by. The woman asserted to Representative Gates that she was being treated differently than other women he was paying for sex. The committee also obtained text messages in which Representative Gates' then-girlfriend informed some of the women who were typically paid for sex. The guys, Representative Gates and Greenberg, Mr. Greenberg, wanted me to share that they are a little limited in their cash flow this weekend. Matt was like, if it can be more of a customer appreciation week. That's fucking loser. A few months later, she noted that, by the way, Matt also mentioned he is going to be a bit generous because of the customer appreciation thing last time. Another woman specifically recalled a conversation with Representative Gates about issues with Mr. Greenberg's following through with expected payments after Mr. Greenberg's encounters with her. Mr. Greenberg told the committee that Representative Gates was aware that the women they had sex with paid had met Mr. Greenberg through the sugar dating website. Ooh. Representative Gates did not appear to have negotiated specific payment amounts prior to engaging in sexual activity with the women he paid. Instead, the women had a general expectation that they would typically receive some amount of money after each sexual encounter. In 2017, using pseudonymous, I remember how to pronounce it, pseudonymous account, Representative Gates made payments to women largely without a description of the purpose of the payment. After several months, he began to use other payment accounts, including ones with his own name. Oh God. Using innocuous descriptions to indicate the purpose of payments. These are funny. If these are what I'm thinking about, these are really funny if we get to them. Representative Gates did not provide any information regarding the tens of thousands of dollars in payments he made to over a dozen women despite being offered the opportunity to do so by the committee. Representative Gates was provided with a list of women who the committee found received payments from him beginning in 2017 and was asked to inform the committee of the purpose of those payments as well as to inform the committee of how he knew the individual and whether, if you engaged in any sexual activity with the individual, did she ever indicate to you that she expected payment for engaging in sexual activity with you? Rather than answer the questions Representative Gaetz asserted incorrectly, you ask in part whether I had sex with a list of adult women over the over the past 7 years. The lawful consensual sexual activities of adults are not the business of Congress. Yeah, just dodge the question. Okay, we should look at what's this one? 54. Are these at the end? See exhibit 3. Okay, so do we have exhibits? Conclusion. Okay, I gotta see the exhibits somewhere. Oh wait, these are exhibits. Okay, we'll get to them. We'll get to them. What was it, 21? Many of the women interviewed by the committee were clear that there was a general expectation of sex. One woman was paid more than $5,000 by Representative Gaetz between 2018 and 2018. Told the committee that, oh my god, that 99% of the time that Representative Gaetz and I were hanging out, there was sex involved. Text messages obtained by the committee show that Representative Gaetz would also ask women to bring drugs to their rendezvous. In some instances, requesting marijuana cartridges and repaying the women directly, but in other cases, requesting a full complement of party favors, vitamins, or rolls.
Pull together some music that I'm thinking would be playing in your own skate video.
Jesus Christ. You're gonna tell I'm sick.
Skate, but if you do,
Jesus.
Soundtrack.
Representative Gaetz sent one woman several $100s for marijuana cartridges. One woman stated that with respect to a 2018 Bahamas trip, myself and Representative Gaetz, then girlfriend, brought drugs with us, and I do know that Matt supplied his then girlfriend with money. Another woman said that she brought cocaine to at least one event with Representative Gaetz, and she witnessed him taking cocaine or ecstasy on at least 5 occasions. Mr. Greenberg told the committee that he would typically provide drugs, such as ecstasy, for events he attended, and Representative Gaetz would pay him back in cash. Several other women observed Representative Gaetz to be under the influence of drugs. Additionally, nearly every witness interviewed observed Representative Gaetz using marijuana. 2. Selected interactions. Based on the evidentiary record, the committee identified at least 20 occasions from the beginning of 2017 through the middle of 2020 where there was substantial evidence that Representative Gaetz met with women who were paid for sex and/or drugs. The committee also received testimony related to multiple additional events, trips, or parties where Representative Gaetz may have paid women for sex and drugs, although the committee could not determine the specific dates or locations for all of them. To the extent Representative Gaetz paid money to women in connection with those trips, at least some such transactions are reflected in the chart discussed in the prior section. True. One of the women Mr. Greenberg met on seekingarrangement.com and introduced Representative Gaetz in or around March 2017 became Representative Gaetz' girlfriend. When he was almost 35, she was 21 years old. Their relationship continued for over 2 years. The relationship was not exclusive, and the committee received evidence that Representative Gaetz' then-girlfriend sometimes participated with him in sexual encounters with other women who were active on the website or otherwise involved in sex-for-money arrangements. Just think if this was, like, a Democrat, though. Think if this was Bernie Sanders. Fucking hookers, man. No, but I feel like if this was any Democratic congressperson, they would be buried. They would be immediately buried. But, Matt Gaetz, I don't know, the fucking leech he is. Maybe if you fuck minors, you just become politically immortal, I don't know. The committee also obtained text messages where she appeared to act as an intermediary between Representative Gaetz and the woman he paid for sex. I was gonna say, that seems to be where a lot of money was going to her for Matt Gaetz' girlfriend. Like the $60,000. It was likely to just like to pay for like whatever other shit, to like send money to other people through her, through like intermediary of his girlfriend. She herself was paid tens of thousands of dollars by Representative Gaetz over the course of their 2-year relationship. She stated, "Matt always paid for anything for me. Matt always paid for anything for me." However, she invoked her Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination in response to several questions, including what the purpose of specific payments was. Weird. Tina's. Versus specific payment was. Specific payments were? What? I don't know. This feels. I don't know. Sounds weird. If I was taking the SAT right now, I would put were. Whether Representative Gaetz ever paid her money for sex and whether she was aware of Representative Gaetz' paying others for sex, she also invoked her Fifth Amendment privilege when asked to explain an increase in payments from Representative Gaetz in 2019. Whether any of the payments from Representative Gaetz were related to drugs, and whether payments she received from Mr. Greenberg were related to Representative Gaetz. Committee obtained messages between Mr. Greenberg and 20-year-old woman she met through seekingarrangements.com, who noted, "I usually do $400 per meet." As shown in the following exchange, Mr. Greenberg and the woman made plans to each bring a friend to their meet. Committee found that the language used by the woman and the amount proposed were consistent with typical pay per meet arrangements made by users for seekingarrangements.com at the time. Finally. Message between Joel Greenberg and 20-year-old female. "If you have a friend that is down, perhaps all 4 of us can meet up later. Do you party at all?" Oh, that's perfect. "I have a friend who introduced me to the website that I could bring. She's very pretty, great personality. I usually do $400 per meet. What does your friend use? Does your friend use the website as well? And yes, I do like to go out sometimes." Very cool. He understands the deal. What does your friend look like? $400 not a problem. Are you both old enough to drink? So, what do you have in mind for tonight? My friend. Is that Matt Gaetz? That is, ain't it? My friend. Ooh, my friend thinks he's really cute. My friend. Well, he's down here only for the day. We work hard and play hard. Have you ever tried Molly? Oh no. Evidence reviewed by the committee shows that on several occasions, Representative Gaetz met with the women who corresponded with Mr. Greenberg in these messages. He continues to follow her on social media and paid her more than $2,000 since late 2018. It's a lot of meat. I don't know. The committee received evidence indicating that the 20-year-old woman in the above messages joined Mr. Greenberg and Representative Gaetz at a hotel in Florida less than 2 weeks after her initial encounter with Representative Gaetz. The committee's record indicates that Representative Gaetz also invited another woman who he regularly paid for sex to meet him at the hotel without disclosing to her that others would be present. Where the fuck was that? That was weird. Okay. Regularly paid for sex in a hotel without disclosing to her that others would be present. The other woman, who was 21 years old, had recently asked the congressman for his help with her tuition. She recalled that Representative Gaetz agreed and told her to meet him at the hotel room where he would provide her with a check, which, according to the woman, was interesting because he had normally sent Venmo payments. When he arrived to pick up the check, she found Mr. Greenberg and the 20-year-old woman present. The 21-year-old woman told the committee that there was an expectation of a sexual encounter. 4 of them had sex, and afterwards Representative Gaetz gave her a $750 check made out to cash with tuition reimbursement in the memo line, which she deposited the next day to help pay her tuition. The 21-year-old woman told the committee that she believed that the encounter could potentially be a form of coercion because I really needed the money. Looking pretty rough. Representative Gates' financial records confirmed that he wrote the check and that he was present at the hotel identified by a woman on the date identified by the woman. By the woman on the date provided by the... Okay. Another example, the committee obtained text messages that appeared to show Representative Gates messaging a woman he knew through Mr. Greenberg, inviting her to travel on a private plane to Key West from May 19th to the 21st, 2017, with 2 guys, 4 girls. Jesus Christ. Very high quality adventurous group. She initially responded, "Yeah, I'm in," to which Representative Gates stated, "Fantastic. As is true with all time you spend with me, it'll be fun and very chill." The same woman was photographed with Representative Gates on May 19, 2017 in Orlando. The photograph depicts Representative Gates in a casual shirt with his arm around her in a dimly lit bar. She was also photographed in front of the helicopter with 3 other women associated with Representative Gates around the same time, including his then-girlfriend. After the committee obtained copies of the text messages and selfie photo, there was public reporting about the evidence. In response to the reporting, Representative Gates' spokesperson released a statement asserting that Representative Gates does not know anything about the woman you're referencing, though he takes thousands of selfies each year. Oh God, that is a very bail me out of here statement. I'll be real. Sounds like it. Payment records viewed by the committee, however, show that Representative Gates paid $600 to the woman the same day he was photographed with her. February 2018, Mr. Greenberg introduced Representative Gates to 2 women with accounts on seekingarrangement.com. They were generally older than other women that Mr. Greenberg had previously introduced to Representative Gates, and they had a slightly different relationship with the 2 men. They were the only women paid by Representative Gates who denied to the committee that the payments were received from the congressman were compensation for engaging in sexual activity. Seems like a relationship with 2 men. Okay. One of the women, who's 25 years old, when she met Representative Gates, testified that she understood herself to be more sophisticated than other women on seekingarrangement.com. In contrast to the women who almost exclusively interacted with Representative Gates in hotel rooms or private parties, this woman attended events as Representative Gates' date, for which she was paid between $500 and $1,000 per event. She also stated that she did not feel pressured to have sex with Representative Gates and only did so on some occasions. She told the committee that in December 2019, Representative Gates had his congressional assistant arrange travel for her to Washington, D.C. for one night. I can barely read, man. Jesus Christ. My throat's fucked up. Need more Pedialyte. DC for one night. Okay. According to the woman, she attended a dinner with Representative Gates and a few other individuals. She stayed overnight at a hotel with Representative Gates and had sex with him. Representative Gates sent the woman $1,000 around that time. The woman told the committee that she was paid to be his date and that sex was not necessarily an expectation. The other older woman, who was 27 years old when she met Representative Gates, was the only woman interviewed by the committee who did not view their relationship as transactional in nature. It's kind of strange if you're coming from the website that is based on transaction, but sure. The first time she met Representative Gates, however, she had sex with him and was paid $1,000 by Mr. Greenberg, which she understood to have been at Representative Gates' direction. She told the committee that she viewed her relationship with Representative Gates as more or less dating, although it was never anything serious. Ah, yes, never anything serious. You just gotta pay them to date you. But it's not transactional. It's just not very serious. So she said she was not familiar with his then girlfriend, and said she was not aware that he was also having a sexual relationship with her friend, the 25-year-old woman. She frequently commented on social media and still follows her on, and he still follows her on social media. Most of the sex for money encounters that the committee reviewed occurred in Florida, particularly around Orlando. Several of the women involved were students based in that area. On several occasions, however, Representative Gates did travel with women that he paid for sex. On September 13, 2018, Representative Gates, 2 other men, and 6 women traveled to the Bahamas. Representative Gates arrived by commercial plane later than the others, who arrived on private planes. The group stayed at a vacation rental booked and paid for by one of the male travelers. The attendees stated that this was a social trip. They sunbathed, chartered a boat, and went to dinner in a casino as a group. Representative Gaetz engaged in sexual activity with at least 4 of the women on the trip. Several of the women recalled that Representative Gaetz appeared to be under the influence of drugs and that they took ecstasy during this trip. One woman said she witnessed Representative Gaetz taking ecstasy as well. Most, if not all, of the women involved had some history of sexual interaction with Representative Gaetz for which they had been paid. While there were no specific payments for the women in connection with the Bahamas trip, according to one woman, the trip itself was more so the payment. The group returned to Orlando on September 16, 2018. Representative Gaetz flew on a private plane with another man and 3 women, while the remaining individuals flew on another private plane. Representative Gaetz paid for the 2 women to travel to New York City in January 2019 to meet up with him and his then-girlfriend. The committee reviewed text messages in which Representative Gaetz asked for the women about obtaining drugs in advance of the trip, stating, "Who can help with party favors?" In addition to paying for their travel costs, the committee received evidence that Representative Gaetz sent the women money to compensate them for sexual activities they engaged in with him during the trip. While all the women on the that the committee interviewed stated their sexual activity with Representative Gaetz was consensual, at least one woman felt the use of drugs at the parties and events they attended may have impaired their ability to really know what was going on and fully consent. Indeed, nearly every woman the committee spoke with could not remember the details of at least one or more of the events that they attended with Representative Gaetz and attributed that to drug or alcohol consumption. Jesus. The women who discussed instances where Representative Gaetz would try to convince them to have sex with him or Mr. Greensburg. He would make me feel bad about not having sex with him or Joel Greenberg. And then he would say, "Why didn't you want to have sex with me?" or "My hug at." Or "Mr. Greenberg looks very sad over there. Make him happy." Oh no. Another woman said that their relationship at some point was a loving friendship, but over time came to feel like a task. Third woman said, "When I look back on certain moments, I feel violated." One woman said, "I think about it all the time. I still see him when I turn on the TV, and there's nothing anyone can do. It's frustrating to know I live the reality that he denies." Okay, this is the big one. That was all really bad, don't get me wrong, okay? That was all fucking pretty damning. But this is like double that, because with a minor. And this, I see all over Twitter, some fucking retarded conservatives all over the time, circling some random fucking paragraph. I think it's like this one or this one, I'm not sure. But, they think this is some magical thing that'll just kind of get them out of it all, I feel. But, let's get into it. Section 3, Representative Gaetz' interactions with the minor he met through Mr. Greenberg. Numerous witnesses told the committee that on July 15, 2017, Representative Gaetz attended a party at Mr. Doverworth's home, the former Florida House of Representatives person who is now a lobbyist. This party was also attended by Mr. Greenberg, Representative Gaetz' then-girlfriend, and several others, including Victim A, who was 17 years old at the time. The record overwhelmingly suggests that Representative Gaetz had sex with multiple women at the party, including the 17-year-old, for which they were paid. Mr. Dorworth testified that Representative Gaetz was a frequent guest at his home. To enter the community where Mr. Dorworth lives, non-residents are required to present a driver's license before entering. Entry records are maintained. Mr. Dorworth believed that Representative Gaetz invited people to his home on that evening of July 15, 2017. Likewise, Representative Gaetz' then-girlfriend provided an affidavit in civil litigation stating that she and Representative Gaetz attended the July 15, 2017 party at Dorworth's residence. Huh. So they were there. It's kind of hard to, also in the tweet, he was like, some fucking random party, and like people on drugs saw me there. Your then girlfriend just submitted an affidavit in the civil litigation saying that you were there. What? How are you gonna try to deny this? You can't wriggle your way out of this. But he's probably like never gonna fucking engage with this. But whatever. Actually, no, it's not whatever. What the fuck? This guy should lose his career. This guy should lose his entire life. This is, like, it's insane. What the fuck? Like, this is insane. This is insane. The committee received testimony that victim A and Representative Gaetz had sex twice during the party, including at least once in the presence of other party attendees. Victim A recalled receiving $400 in cash from Representative Gaetz that evening, which she understood to be payment for sex. At the time, she had just completed her junior year of high school. Oh no! Victim A said she did not inform Representative Gaetz that she was under 18 at the time. Nor did he ask her age. The committee did not receive any evidence indicating that Representative Gaetz was aware that victim A was a minor when he had sex with her. Too bad in Florida, you get fucked. Okay, it's over for you, Mr. Gaetz. It's over. But I think a Florida suit could be pretty bad for this guy. But I don't know if anyone in Florida would pursue. I hope people in Florida would pursue this. Is anyone in? Actually. No, it was a Florida home. What is it? Persecuting Matt Gaetz. Because this happened in a house in Florida. I wonder if anyone is, because I mean it came out today, so we'll probably see something eventually, I'd imagine. Victim A acknowledged that she was under the influence of ecstasy during her sexual encounters with Representative Gaetz at the July 15, 2017 party, and recalled seeing Representative Gaetz use cocaine at the party. Victim A told the committee she was certain of her sexual encounters with Representative Gaetz on that night. Again, he could have combated this in front of everyone, in front of the committee, but he didn't do it. I don't know why he wouldn't. Why wouldn't you? If you feel so confident that you're innocent, why the fuck wouldn't you? It makes no sense. As discussed further below, Representative Gaetz generally denied engaging in sexual activity with a minor, but refused to answer specific questions relating to his interactions with victim A. On August 2nd, 2024, Representative Gaetz sent the committee a copy of a social media post from Mr. Dorwith regarding his lawsuit against victim A, in which he had accused her of being part of a conspiracy to defame him. So the person that Greenwald, right? Or Greenberg, Joel Greenberg. So the person, okay, I gotta get everything straight. The person that Joel Greenberg, he knew Mr. Dorwith being part of Florida's House of Representatives, lobbying with Greenberg and Gaetz, got them together, knew about them. Greenberg was doing stuff with that website, the what is it? Settingupmeets.com or whatever the fuck. Shit. I forget what it's called. ControlF.com. Seeking Arrangements, that's what it was. SeekingArrangements.com, where there is a lot of people who are trying to get it shut down due to sexual trafficking issues with that website. Came to his home. Greenberg was with Mr. Dorwith, probably knows what was going on. They invited those people from that website to this home. So this seems like a fucking insane thing to try to say. But also, out of all the things Gaetz could have sent the committee, a social media post? Not like a court document about the case, like saying like, oh, it actually was part of a conspiracy. Like, what even was this case? Like, you wouldn't have sent actual evidence into the committee, or like submitted evidence to the committee. Somehow, some way, if Matt Gaetz is innocent, he's the dumbest motherfucker alive. Oh my god, this is like horrible. This is like the worst way to do it. In that post, Mr. Dorwith discussed his recent settlement with victim A, in which no funds were exchanged. He asserted that he had succeeded in proving that victim A lied about him and that, well, it wasn't proven. You guys settled out of court. Victim A lied about him and that she didn't just lie about me, she lied about Gaetz as well in a federal criminal investigation that resulted in no charges against the congressman because our false accuser has no credibility, no evidence for the crime that didn't occur. Well, you guys fucking settled. I don't know. Not looking great. Also, I think this is it's a lawsuit against victim A where they settled out of court. So I don't even know how they settled. I would have to look at this case. That'd be something to look into. The same day, Mr. Dorwith revised his post after victim A's attorney contacted his attorneys to remove his claim that he succeeded in proving victim A had lied about maintaining his assertion that she falsely accused Representative Gaetz. So he's just lying in the post, and then the post fucked him over. Because if you settle out of court where nothing is proven, even in a civil case where you only need, like, what, 51% to convict? Not 100% like a criminal trial, right? So, this guy seems fucking insane, Mr. Dorworth. Oh my god. I'm gonna go monkey dancing. I'm gonna go grab some water and a few drinks. I will be right back. Alright, I am back. I am back. This monkey is fucking tweaking. Matt Gaetz off the molly when he sees a 17-year-old. I went to an Asian market. I got a little, found a little marshmallow cake things. They're good. World's cutest cat live stream. Holy shit. Way more interesting. I was kidding. It was actually pretty good, honestly. That gate shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Mr. Dorwith testified to the committee that he himself was not present for the July 15, 2017 party at his own home, despite victim A's assertion to the contrary. Huh. Beef crust and pancake everywhere. I'm gonna eat this real quick. So I don't even know how he's denying that he was at his own party, but after the committee's interview, and after he settled his lawsuit against victim A, Mr. Dorwith was deposed and confronted with cell phone records showing that he was in fact at his residence during the party. Jesus Christ. Mr. Dorwith stated, "I don't have an answer to those questions, and I'm not going to opine on cell phone data when I don't know anything about it. I don't know. I do not believe I was there. There could be a million reasons for that." What? Okay, wait, he was actually in the Bahamas and he was using a VPN on his cell phone to make calls and texts that was strategically placed at his house. That's what Victim A did. Oh my god. Bought him NordVPN and made his VPN on his phone, his house, his own address, so when he was out doing stuff with an actual alibi, they'd do it. That's why they settled out of court and couldn't prove anything. True. As the question about his cell phone pinging from, what the fuck am I? As the questions about his phone, As the questions about his cell phone pinging from a tower less than a mile away from his home continued, Mr. Dorwith became irritated, informing the attorney, "I'm telling you that I was not at that party. So if you believe those phone records somehow impute that I was, or make it just undeniable, it is certain then that is certainly your belief." The committee requested through counsel that Mr. Dorwith clarify his testimony regarding his whereabouts on the evening of July 15, 2017. Counsel did not respond. That damning. Representative Gaetz' response to the allegations of sexual misconduct and illicit drug use. Representative Gaetz categorically stated to the committee that his allegations he may have engaged in sexual misconduct, including violations of federal laws relating to sex trafficking and state laws relating to his prostitution and statutory rape, were false, and that these allegations were investigated by the Department of Justice and the investigation was completely dropped. He also repeatedly, incorrectly stated that the DOJ investigation exonerated him. Representative Gaetz did not provide any explanation for his assertion that the allegations of state law violations were false, even though those violations were not within the jurisdiction of DOJ. He also denied the allegations that he used illicit drugs. The committee provided Representative Gaetz with the names of 15 women who were alleged to have received payments from him or on his behalf relating to sexual misconduct and illicit drug use, as well as the approximate payment amounts and transaction years, but he did not provide any explanation for those payments. Representative Gaetz responded publicly to allegations that his payment to women were for allegations that his payments to women were for sex by stating that someone is trying to recategorize my generosity to ex-girlfriends as something more untoward. He also repeatedly denied having ever paid for sex. When given the opportunity to put that assertion in writing in this matter, however, Representative Gaetz refused to respond, asserting that asking about his sexual history as a single man with an adult woman is a bridge too far. Representative Gaetz did broadly address the allegation that he engaged in sexual activity with a minor. He asserted that in September 26, 2024, letter to the committee, your correspondence on September 4th asked whether I have engaged in sexual activity with any individual under 18. The answer to this question is unequivocally no. You can apply this response to every version of the question in every forum. The committee's September 4th letter, however, specifically asked him whether he was present on July 15, 2017 party at Mr. Dorworth's, whether he's ever engaged in sexual activity with victim A and when, and whether he ever gave victim A money, directly or indirectly, and if so, for what purpose. Representative Gaetz did not answer any of those questions. Section B, allegations relating to house gift rule. This is a short-ass one, okay. 2021 news outlets reported that federal investigators were reviewing the 2018 Bahamas trip. According to these reports, the trip was paid for by an associate of Representative Gaetz with connections to the medical marijuana industry, who allegedly also paid for female escort to accompany them on the trip. The only other male attendee who was also connected to the medical marijuana industry. According to press records, DOJ was investigating allegations that the trip may have been part of an illegal influence effort on behalf of the medical marijuana industry. As discussed above, the Bahamas trip took place from December 13th to 16th in 2018 and included Representative Gaetz, 2 other men, and 6 women. Representative Gaetz flew on a commercial airline from Washington, D.C. to the Bahamas on September 13, 2018. Representative Gaetz's associates paid for a vacation rental for the group, but told the committee that Representative Gaetz paid for various expenses in the Bahamas, such as meals, and these expenses covered Representative Gaetz's share of the vacation rental. No other individuals recalled whether Representative Gaetz paid for their meals, vacation rental, or other activities on this trip, with the exception of his then-girlfriend. No one recalled Representative Gaetz making cash payments, and his bank statement and credit card records do not show any transactions on these dates occurring in the Bahamas, nor large withdrawals of cash during or in advance of the trip. On September 16, 2018, Representative Gaetz flew on his associate's private plane from the Bahamas to Orlando, along with 3 female passengers between 20 and 29 years old. Allegations related to misuse of official resources. This is campaign funding stuff. As discussed above, in early 2018, Representative Gaetz met a woman through Mr. Greenberg. The same night they met, they had sex, and Mr. Greenberg sent her money. At that first meeting, the woman also told Representative Gaetz that she needed a new passport for an upcoming trip. She did not initially know Representative Gaetz was a congressman, but he connected her with his then chief of staff, who worked with the State Department's congressional liaison, to secure a passport appointment for the woman within days of their first meeting. An individual from the Department of State Miami Passport Agency sent the Chief of Staff an email confirming an appointment for your constituent, which the Chief of Staff then forwarded to the woman who lived in Orlando, Florida, outside of Representative Gaetz' congressional district. The woman acknowledged to the committee that the money she received from Mr. Greenberg was sent on behalf of Representative Gaetz, but denied that the money was compensation for their sexual encounter. Instead, she said the $1,000 she received from Mr. Greenberg was to assist her with the transportation costs to go to the Miami passport office from Orlando. What the fuck? It's like a 4-hour drive. What are you talking about? Transportation costs. $1,000? Are you fucking insane? The woman spent $195 to obtain a new passport prior to her trip, a standard $60 fee for an in-person appointment, plus $135 for the passport. She continued to meet up with Representative Gaetz on other occasions during which they engaged in sexual activity. The committee reviewed and other records relating to passport assistance requests from the Office of Representative Gaetz. It was unusual for the Chief of Staff to process requests for expedited passports from constituents. Those casework matters were typically handled by district staff. The committee also received evidence that Representative Gaetz tasked the Chief of Staff with assisting Mr. Greenberg on occasion. Chief of Staff was no longer employed in Representative Gaetz' office at the time of the committee's review and did not respond to communications from the committee. Another fucking strike against you, Matty boy. Obstruction of the committee's investigation. This is going to be pretty interesting too. May 23, 2024, or 2023. May 23rd, 2023. Committee informed Representative Gaetz that reauthorized an investigation into several allegations, including sexual misconduct and illicit drug use. Sent Representative Gaetz a narrowly tailored request for information seeking specific documents related to allegations squarely within the committee's jurisdiction, namely violations related to the House skip rule or bribery and improper images on the House floor. The request for information also asks for any other information that you believe may be relevant to the matter as a whole. In response, Representative Gaetz began sending letters to the chairman and ranking member asserting, among other things, that the committee's request for a 2-week response time and signed declaration under oath, both of which are standard practice for the committee, were unreasonable, and that he was being treated differently than other members of Congress. Representative Gaetz indicated that the committee's request was overly burdensome, as he would need to sort through 6 years' worth of records across various accounts. In these letters, he also began making demands of the committee in exchange for his good faith cooperation, while suggesting that the committee was being weaponized against him for various changing reasons. Of course, it's just like whatever you can latch onto at the time, he's just going to go for. Chairman and ranking member granted Representative Gaetz an extension through August 11, 2023 to respond to the request for information and explained the committee's standard practices. I had to go through, hey, this is normally what we do, retard. Representative Gaetz missed the deadline and stated he would only produce document in person at his district office. Chairman and ranking member responded again, giving him an extension through September 20th, 2023 to comply with the request for information and reiterating the committee's standard practices. Representative Gaetz again missed the deadline, ultimately producing 3 pages that were not fully responsive to the request for information on October 2nd, 2023. In his response, Representative Gaetz produced his boarding passes and itinerary used for the 2018 Bahamas trip, which also stated he paid for personally. However, the boarding passes and itinerary only showed his flight to the Bahamas and not his return. As discussed above, Representative Gaetz flew out of the Bahamas via private plane. Representative Gaetz intentionally omitted information relating to his return and transportation, indicating in later correspondence that because of the committee's request was for documents related to actual or planned travel to the Bahamas. Emphasis added. He should not be expected to produce records of his transportation from that location. While the committee noted that any documents involving his transportation from the Bahamas were clearly related to the travel at issue, his response made clear that he was not willing to provide good faith responses. That's pretty true. So I'm assuming this is a response to one of the letters. Does the committee also have interest in every dollar I spent in the Bahamas on food, refreshment, and other travel positions such as sunscreen? I ask because your request is unclear, unrelated to House rules, and more than a bit nosy. I can represent the committee that no funds of mine were expended in the Bahamas for illicit drug use or sexual misconduct, which is proven to be false. Despite frequently suggesting that he had insufficient opportunities to respond to the allegations against him, Representative Gaetz sent more than a dozen letters to the chairman and ranking member through the committee's review. In addition to alleging that the committee's process was being weaponized against him, Representative Gaetz repeatedly alleged the committee members and staff were leaking information to the press. The committee's nonpartisan staff were actually acting as Democrats, or that the committee was working on behalf of former Speaker Kevin McCarthy. What the fuck? He also demanded to know the sources of allegations against him and argued that the committee's investigation should be closed because DOJ had exonerated him, even though they hadn't. On May 20th, 2024, the committee requested Representative Gaetz provide availability for an interview to be conducted sometime in the first 2 weeks of June. The interview would be an opportunity for Representative Gaetz to answer questions about and respond to the allegations in that letter. The committee appended a fulsome list of allegations involving Representative Gaetz's involving Representative Gaetz to ensure his awareness of all allegations before the committee. May 24, 2024, Representative Gaetz responded to the committee's letter. He demanded the committee investigate leaks to the press prior to him submitting for an interview and argued incorrectly that the committee could not subpoena his testimony unless it impaneled an investigative subcommittee. Okay, so that's just not true, I guess. I presume. Incorrectly. I love all these snarky little things in parentheses. It's like emphasis added incorrectly. He also voluminous documentary evidence he produced to the committee that he claimed showed his innocence and categorically denied all the allegations that he apparently hasn't provided anyway. On June 17, 2024, the committee informed Representative Gaetz that it would be both expanding and narrowing the scope of its investigation into allegations involving him. The letter also requested evidence that DOJ had exonerated him. Any records previously produced to DOJ and any documents he believed the committee should have already received comprising the voluminous evidence he claimed to have provided. Finally, the letter reiterated the committee's request that Representative Gaetz appeared for a voluntary interview and reminded him, pursuant to Committee Rule 10A, it would consider whether to use compulsory process to obtain his testimony. Representative Gaetz responded on June 24, 2024, stating that he would need additional time to review over 10,000 records that he previously submitted to DOJ. He also reiterated his request that the committee provide him with confidential information about its investigative sources, as well as regarding any investigations of disclosures in the press. He then publicly called the committee's investigation frivolous and said it was an obvious fact that every investigation into me ends the same way, my exoneration. I don't think he's been exonerated from anything. Representative Gaetz ultimately produced some additional documents to the committee through early September, although it is not clear how many of those documents have been previously produced to DOJ. The committee also invited Representative Gaetz to clarify the relevancy of the records he produced, most of which did not appear to be responsive to the committee's request, to which he stated only that he was prioritizing the evidence that most clearly proved his innocence. Representative Gaetz also falsely stated that a letter to the committee, which he shared in a public social media post, that he had voluntarily produced tens of thousands of records to the contrary. Voluntarily produced tens of thousands of records. To the contrary, Representative Gaetz provided only a couple hundred records, more than 90% of which was either irrelevant or publicly available. True, that's, usually subpoenas for stuff that isn't publicly available. Despite multiple extensions for the committee to review and produce responsive records from 10,000 he claimed he would review, Representative Gaetz ultimately declared he would no longer cooperate with the committee in the public letter. Jesus. The committee also reviewed allegations that Representative Gaetz may have sought to tamper with witness testimony in connection with his investigation or the DOJ's investigation. DOJ refused to provide a copy for an audio recording in which Representative Gaetz discussed the DOJ's inquiry with one of the women he paid for sex. While the committee did not find documentary evidence that Representative Gaetz directly acted to prevent any women from testifying before DOJ or the committee, some women cited a fear of retaliation from the congressman when declining to speak on the record with the committee. Findings. The committee found Representative Gaetz violated state laws related to sexual misconduct. 1. The committee did not find that Representative Gaetz violated federal... The committee did not find that Representative Gaetz violated federal sex trafficking laws. The committee did not obtain substantial evidence that Representative Gaetz violated federal sex trafficking laws. Transportation of an individual for purposes of commercial sex could violate such laws if an individual was a minor or if sexual activity occurred through force, fraud, or coercion. Representative Gaetz was alleged in news reports to have paid a minor to engage in sexual activity and travel with him on a trip to the Bahamas in September 2018. However, the youngest person who traveled with him and his associates was 18 years old at the time of the trip. Further, she and the other woman who attended the Bahamas did not recall being paid for sexual activity on that occasion. One woman testified that she was not paid for sex on the trip, although she did have sex with Representative Gaetz because the trip itself was more so the payment. As discussed above, there is evidence that Representative Gaetz paid women to travel to New York and Washington, D.C. for commercial sex. At the time, each of the women was over the age of 18. While Representative Gaetz's relationship with the women involved an exploitive power imbalance, the committee does not have reason to believe that he used force, fraud, or coercion, as those terms apply under the applicable laws. True. I don't think there's any evidence suggesting that he used any of his, like, oh, I'm a congressman, like, I'll pass laws, or, oh, I'll get these guys to investigate the website, investigate you, like, all that shit. It just seemed like, oh, he's, like, got the people from the website, seeking appointments or whatever. and paid for sex with him. Oh. Okay. Committee found that Representative Gaetz engaged in commercial sex. There's substantial evidence that Representative Gaetz paid women for sex and had others pay women for sex on his behalf. The committee heard testimony from over half a dozen witnesses who attended parties, events, and trips with Representative Gaetz from 2017 to 2020. I'm dying over here, dude. Might be having a fucking nosebleed here. Maybe. Maybe a small nosebleed. I don't know where the fuck. I don't know where the fuck my nose is bleeding. What the hell? Okay. I'm gonna try to wrap this up and then maybe I'll hop off. So honestly, it's been kind of fun. I gotta go eat food and shit though, and fucking take care of myself because I'm fucking dying, dude. Holy shit. I don't think there's a whole lot more. I mean, there's not that much more. I think there's a lot more. Holy shit. Ah, there's not that more. 36 and I'm on like fucking what? Ah, there's 6 more pages. I can do that. Alright. Nearly every young woman that the committee interviewed confirmed that she was paid for sex by or on behalf of Representative Gaetz. After a few of the women characterized their relationship differently, describing a date-for-hire arrangement that may not necessarily implicate state prostitution laws. Even assuming the payments to those particular women would not violate prostitution laws, the committee found evidence that Representative Gaetz spent tens of thousands of dollars on other women with whom he had shared understanding that they would be compensated for sexual activity with him. There were potentially additional amounts spent on commercial sex that could not be specifically identified either because payments were made in cash or through intermediaries. The committee's records thus indicate that Representative Gaetz enticed and procured women to engage in sexual activity for hire and purchased the services of women engaging in sexual activity for hire in violation of Florida state law. Representative Gaetz refused to answer the committee's questions about his payment to women, despite opportunities to do so in sworn testimony or in writing. While he has been unwilling to address the allegations under oath, Representative Gaetz has made several public statements regarding all allegations under the committee's review, including that his generosity to ex-girlfriends is being misconstrued and that he has never ever paid for sex. The committee found this to be untrue. Members that are required to uphold the laws of the United States and all governments therein and have never been a party to their evasion. Through his violations of state prostitution laws, Representative Gaetz acted contrary to this ethical obligation. Representative Gaetz took advantage of the economic vulnerability of young women to lure them into sexual activity for which they received an average of a few $100s for each encounter. Such behavior is not generosity to ex-girlfriends, and it does not reflect credibility upon the House. The committee thus found Representative Gaetz to be in violation of House Rule 23, Clause 1. Fuck me, I'm dying. committee found that Representative Gaetz violated Florida's statutory rape law. There's substantial evidence that Representative Gaetz engaged in sexual activity with a 17-year-old girl. The committee received credible testimony from victim A herself, as well as multiple individuals corroborating the allegation. Several of those witnesses have also testified under oath before a federal grand jury and in civil litigation. It's true. Representative Gaetz denied that allegation, but refused to testify under oath. Publicly stated that victim A doesn't exist. He has not had sex with a 17-year-old since I was 17. The committee found that to be untrue and determined that there was substantial evidence that Representative Gaetz had sex with victim A in July 2017, when she was 17 years old and he was 35. Representative Gaetz' actions were in violation of Florida's statutory rape law. Representative Gaetz has suggested that the allegations against him have been manufactured and that Mr. Greenberg and victim A are not credible. Damn, he's throwing him under the bus. That's when Mr. Greenberg's going around fucking telling on everybody now. The committee has acknowledged that Mr. Greenberg's credibility is in doubt. That's pretty true. The committee received additional evidence from Mr. Greenberg that is not included in his report. Much of it is salacious but unverifiable. Although consistent with the nature of the conduct, the committee learned from other witnesses. The committee found no reason to doubt credibility of victim A. Representative Gaetz has suggested the fact that she has, through her attorneys, expressed an intention to seek civil redress against him for raping her means that she has a financial motive that undermines the veracity of her claims. The committee reviewed a letter from counsel victim A to counsel for Representative Gaetz, which stated that she intended to pursue claims against Representative Gaetz, including child sex trafficking and statutory rape. Regardless of whether victim A had any pecuniary motive. Pecuniary. I'm learning so many words.
Pecuniary
motive, and sending such a communication. She cooperated with DOJ's investigation for years and was let down by the justice system when reports circulated that DOJ would be unlikely to pursue charges against Representative Gaetz. Victim A is entitled to all of the protections and remedies available to her under civil laws, and her intention to pursue claims against Representative Gaetz and others does not negate her credibility. Moreover, as discussed above, the committee obtained testimony and documentary evidence from other witnesses corroborating the allegations. Representative Gaetz' statutory rape of victim A was in violation of Florida law, the Code of Official Conduct, and the Code of Ethics for Government Service. The committee received evidence that Representative Gaetz did not learn that victim A was 17 years old until more than a month after the first sexual encounters. However, statutory rape is a strict liability crime. After he learned that victim A was a minor, he maintained contact less than 6 months after she turned 18, met up with her again for commercial sex. Oh god. When Mr. Greenberg was prosecuted for sex trafficking, the same individual, Representative Gaetz, denied that she existed. His conduct reflects discredibility upon the House. The committee found Representative Gaetz used illegal drugs. There's substantial evidence that Representative Gaetz used cocaine, ecstasy, and marijuana. At least 2 women saw Representative Gaetz using cocaine and ecstasy at different events. Even more women understood him to regularly be using ecstasy. There is also ample evidence that Representative Gaetz purchased and used marijuana. He appears to have set up a synonymous email account from his house office in the Capitol complex for the purpose of purchasing marijuana. Jesus. Representative Gaetz denied using illicit drugs when written correspondence to the committee. Members of Congress are not required to undergo the same background check process as other government officials who obtain a security clearance. That process includes answering questions about the use of illegal drugs in the 7 preceding years. Representative Gaetz used illegal drugs on numerous occasions between 2017 and 2020, in violation of state laws. The committee also received evidence that Representative Gaetz and his associates provided drugs to women to facilitate the sexual misconduct described above. Representative Gaetz' conduct violated paragraph 2 of the Code of Ethics for Government Services and clause 1 of the Code of Official Conduct. The committee found that Representative Gaetz violated the House gift rule. Substantial evidence that Representative Gaetz received impermissible gifts in connection with his travel to the Bahamas in September 2018. Specifically, Representative Gaetz accepted travel via a private plane and other travel costs. Contrary to Representative Gaetz' claims, he provided substantial evidence to the committee demonstrating his innocence on this allegation. He provided no evidence showing that he paid for any travel costs other than his flight to the Bahamas, despite being given multiple opportunities to do so. As discussed above, Representative Gaetz' associates provided the lodging and return flight via private plane. Representative Gaetz accepted this gift without first seeking approval from the committee. The gift rule requires members to apply to the committee for a waiver to accept gifts of personal friendship with a fair market value over a threshold amount. For travel via private plane, the committee has provided extensive guidance. Less than a year after Representative Gates' flight from the Bahamas trip, the committee circulated a reminder about the guidance to the House community, noting that practically any flight on a non-commercial aircraft will exceed $250 in value and hence will require committee approval. The flight, lodging, and meal and entertainment expenses of the Bahamas trip that were incurred but not paid by Representative Gates were all in excess of the personal friendship threshold. The committee also found evidence that Representative Gates impermissibly accepted private plane travel on other occasions. Representative Gates failed to disclose Bahamas travel gift as well as other private flights he has taken on his associates' private planes in his financial disclosure forms. Accordingly, the committee found that Representative Gates violated House Rule 25 of Clause 5 by accepting impermissible gifts. Consistent with the committee's long-standing precedent, Representative Gates would be required to repay the value of the gifts and amend his financial disclosure statement to disclose receipts of the gifts. True. The committee found Representative Gates dispensed special privileges and favors to individuals for whom he had a personal relationship. That's the passport. The committee found substantial evidence Representative Gates used power of office to assist a woman with whom he has engaged in a sexual relationship in obtaining a expedited passport. The woman was not his constituent and was not handled in the same manner as similar passport assistant cases. Accordingly, the committee found Representative Gates violated House regulations, law requiring the use of official resources for representational purposes in paragraph 5 of the Code of Ethics of Government Services, which prohibited the dispensing of special favors and privileges. The committee found Representative Gates sought to obstruct its investigation of his conduct. The committee found substantial evidence that Representative Gates engaged in obstructive conduct with respect to the committee's investigation. Representative Gates pointed to evidence that would exonerate him, yet failed to produce any such materials. Representative Gates continuously sought to deflect, deter, or mislead the committee in order to prevent his actions from being exposed. This is most notable with respect to the committee's specific request regarding the Bahamas trip. As discussed above, Representative Gates intentionally withheld information relating to his return trip via private plane. Representative Gates clearly understood that he had acted contrary to House rules by accepting private plane travel, but chose to cover up his actions rather than comply with the committee's request. Despite asserting he wanted opportunities to address his allegation against him, Representative Gates declined to provide testimony voluntary and did not appear when subpoenaed. Representative Gates also was provided ample time to review and produce documents requested by various points of the committee's investigation, yet produced only a handful of non-public documents to the committee. These documents were largely irrelevant, corresponding to time periods after most of the relevant conduct occurred. Likewise, Representative Gates informed the committee that he would welcome, quote-unquote, welcome the opportunity to respond with written questions, and the committee then sent a list of 16 questions. After requesting an extension to response to written questions, which was granted, it appears Representative Gates used that time to craft a couple public letters mischaracterizing the committee's request and asserting he would no longer voluntarily cooperate, despite his uncooperative approach throughout the review. His actions undermined not only his claims that he had exculpatory information to provide, but also his claims that he intended to cooperate with the committee in good faith. It is apparent that Representative Gates' assertions were nothing more than attempts to delay the committee's investigation. Alright, a few more paragraphs. Representative Gates routinely ignored or significantly delayed producing relevant information requested by the committee. His failure to respond required the committee to issue subpoenas to financial institutions for Representative Gates' financial records related to the alleged transactions. Those records show that Representative Gates bought and sold stock and cryptocurrencies from a trading account he opened in March 2021. Some of the trades were below the $1,000 reporting threshold, but others were not. Representative Gates did not only fail to file the required periodic transaction reports, but also failed to disclose the transaction in his annual financial disclosure statement. The committee's long-standing practice is to not take enforcement actions where a failure to file requires disclosures is inadvertent, but because of the lack of cooperation, the committee was unable to determine the reason the transactions were not disclosed. The committee reminded Representative Gates of his duty of diligence and candor of the committee. Representative Gates' response was to suggest that the committee had a duty of candor to him and must reveal confidential sources supporting allegations against him. The committee's rules prevent such disclosures. Moreover, the committee had serious concerns that Representative Gates might retaliate against individuals who cooperated with the committee. In 2020, the committee admonished Representative Gaetz for his conduct towards a witness in a congressional proceeding, finding that he acted in violation of the Code of Official Conduct for a public statement that was perceived by some as a threat towards a witness. Jesus. This is getting, like, it's just full of little nuggets of just like, oh shit, this is horrible for you, Matt Gaetz. In that matter, the committee did not find sufficient evidence to conclude that Representative Gaetz had the requisite criminal intent and noted that he expressed regret for his conduct. In contrast, in the current matter, there is sufficient evidence of Matt Gaetz' intent to derail the investigation. The committee determined that Representative Gaetz' attempts to mislead and deter the committee from investigating him implicated federal criminal laws relating to false statements and obstruction of Congress. Even if Representative Gaetz' obstructive conduct in this investigation did not rise to the level of a criminal violation, it was certainly inconsistent with the requirement that members act in a manner that reflects credibility upon the House, in violation of House Rule 23, Clause 1. Conclusion. Based on the above, the committee has determined there's substantial evidence that Representative Gaetz violated House rules and other standards of conduct prohibiting prostitution, statutory rape, illicit drug use, and impermissible gifts, special favors or privileges, and obstruction of Congress. Wow. The committee made no special oversight finding in this report. No budget statement is submitted. No funding is authorized by any measure in this report. Wow. What a fucking document, man. What a fucking document. I mean, yeah, this is completely and wholly damning for Matt Gaetz, but he's gonna try to like sweep everything under the rug. I don't think anybody in the House or Senate should let him sweep any of this under the rug, because this is like crazy shit. But yeah.
Have a natural
that was a fun one. Let's do connections real quick. Connection. Connection. Then I'll get off. Play. Okay. Okay. Dow, you. Like you. Homonyms? Or is that? Oh, homophone. That's what it is. Dow. A bowl. 8 grand. M. Grand K. Like a money, like an M for a million, like 100K, a grand. What the fuck? Oh, VM, V. Tuesday. What the fuck? K-gram and like a bowl? One away. A V? An 8? A thou, like thousand. Thou wow. Okay. Holy shit, that one was fucking rough right there. Right. So we still have the green one, which could be... Oh shit, no. Oh shit, no. Okay. How to play. Okay. So we still got the green one. We can go for the green one. A scoop. A boat. Crew, a bowl. An 8. Fuck. Okay. Fuck. A neckline's a boat neck, a crew... What the fuck? Wait. Boat neck, a crew neck, a scoop neck, a V-neck? Super 8, Super Bowl, Super Glue, Super Tuesday. Man, fucking whatever. Alright, maybe I'll be live tomorrow, who knows. Thanks for hanging out, guys. That was such a fun report. Honestly, I enjoyed reading that, but, you know, it was fun. So, man, I'll see you guys on, catch you guys on the fucking next one.